Nearly everybody knows that if you move to the island of Puerto Rico, you don't pay federal income tax. But what most people don't know is there are so many other tax strategies that you can take advantage of. And get this, they work for locals too. None of these acts favor mainland investors or crypto bros. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to take advantage of them. Most people think Puerto Rico tax benefits are only for outsiders, only for crypto, and only for people who move here. That's wrong. And guys, that misunderstanding actually hurts the housing market. It doesn't help it. Housing is the priority, and Puerto Rico tax code is designed around one problem. The island doesn't have enough livable housing. So instead of punishing people who create housing, the government made a decision that shocked people when they first heard it. If you provide long-term housing, the income is completely exempt from Puerto Rico income tax. And before people jump to the conclusion, this has absolutely nothing to do with Act 60. This isn't a loophole. There's no favoritism. This applies to locals. It applies to investors. It actually applies to anyone at all that's solving the housing problem. Let's talk about long-term residential rental income. Because in Puerto Rico, that long-term rental income is exempt by Puerto Rico law. So if you invest in a property and that property is used by someone as their primary residence and they're going to lease it for a long period of time, that's 6 months or more, and then the tenants actually go and live in that property and they're not using it as a short-term rental or vacation housing, all you have to do is check those boxes and that income, tax-free. Puerto Rico does not tax long-term rental income. When I showed up on the island of Puerto Rico, I came with 3 business models. We wanted to buy distressed housing because a hurricane had just wiped the island out. And we were going to fix that housing up to resell it to people that would call it a home. So we were going to buy, fix, and flip. That was business model number 1. Business model number 2 was we were going to buy distressed housing and fix it up and rent it and do the long-term rental income. That was part of our core business in the States, and it became part of our core business on the island of Puerto Rico. And the third thing that we were going to do was we were going to buy properties and then sell them as fast as we can to other real estate investors who could do the other 2 things that we were doing. They could fix them up and rent them, or they could fix them up and sell them. So that was our whole idea on why we came to the island of Puerto Rico. We weren't part of Act 60. We didn't come here for a tax break. We just came here to provide housing. Well, over a fairly short period of time, we did a lot of that. We provided a lot of housing. We handed off the keys to hundreds of people who became homeowners, and we rented to even more long-term, safe housing. Along the way, we also invested in short-term, nightly rental for hospitality, because there are other incentives on the island that reward that type of behavior too. But this video, or this section of this video, is about that long-term housing, that long-term revenue that you get that you don't pay taxes on. So where I came from with those business models, I did the same thing back in the States, but here's the difference. On the island, that long-term rental income, I pay no tax on it. So I want to get as much income through that type of revenue stream as I possibly can. If I was doing the same kind of investment back home, I get taxed by the federal income tax. I get taxed, if I'm in the wrong state, by the state income tax. And sometimes, in certain places, there's even city tax. So you get taxed upon taxed upon taxed. You get taxed to death. That's why you come to Puerto Rico, so that you don't get taxed to death. And contrasting it, here on the island of Puerto Rico, as long as you structure things correctly, the federal tax is 0, and on the long-term rental income, the Puerto Rico tax is 0. And guys, that one difference alone will change how fast you scale, because it's not all about how much money you make, but it is a lot about how much money do you keep. And here's where some people will mess this up. Not all rental income qualifies. Short-term rental income, that's treated completely differently. You have to pay the tax. And not only do you have to pay the tax on the income, a lot of times you require permits just to be able to do the short-term rental stuff. And you could even get hit with room tax. Again, tax upon tax upon tax. And that's why chasing those Airbnb properties, that's not aligned with saving money in taxes. It's one of the reasons that we've stepped away from investing in that way. We like that long-term, stable income. And we especially like it on the island of Puerto Rico because we don't have to pay any tax on that revenue. And the island of Puerto Rico has decided to reward stability, not speculation. So if you're wondering why the island keeps pushing long-term housing, it's because there's tens of thousands, I think there's over 300,000 homes on the island or houses on the island that are completely distressed and out of use that could be fixed and put back onto the market. Guys, I gotta say this, there is one thing that you don't get to take advantage of while you're collecting that rent tax-free. At least the way that I understand the law is written, you do not get to depreciate the building and then also not pay tax on the income. So it's one or the other, right? If you're going to depreciate the asset, then you pay tax on the revenue. If you're going to get the revenue tax-free, you can't also depreciate the asset. So that's the way I understand it. Check with your legal representatives, check with your accountants. I bet you that there's someone that'll tell you that you can do it both ways. You know. Let me know what you think. Leave me a comment. All right, so let's jump into Act 60 because of course it's real, but it is wildly misunderstood. Act 60 is designed for export services. It's designed to attract business activity, and there's no real estate income exemption in Act 60. It's one of the reasons that I'm not part of Act 60, and I wasn't part of Act 20 or Act 22. When we came to the island of Puerto Rico, we're real estate investors, and we make our money by fixing things up and selling them. And we pay ordinary income. And we've paid that when we were in the States. We pay that when we're on the island of Puerto Rico. Could we have tried to jump through the hoops and fit ourselves a square peg into a round hole? Maybe. We've seen other people do it, but it wasn't for us. We just did what we do. We buy things, we fix things, we sell things, or we rent them. Whatever it is, real estate investors always get treated well when it comes to the tax man. But in my opinion, there's no reason to try to fit that square peg into the round hole, so we just sat that one out. But for those of you that want to use Act 60, you need to treat it as a tool. It's not the foundation, it's just a tool. Guys, let me lay out the game plan for you. If you're going to invest in real estate on the island of Puerto Rico and you want to not pay taxes, it's simple. Find the distressed housing. They're everywhere. You can't avoid them. They're in every neighborhood, whether you're in an affluent neighborhood or a very working class neighborhood, it doesn't matter. These zombie houses, they've been left, they've been forgotten, they're sitting there, they're completely not being used. They don't have power to them, the doors and windows need to be fixed. So find those properties and buy them. You can buy them on the cheap because they're so distressed. Do the value add real estate investment and then rent them out long-term to someone who's going to live there. This is your game plan, guys. You'll pay no tax on that revenue and then go do it again and again. You're solving the housing crisis and you're putting some money in your pocket and you're being rewarded for it by not having to pay the tax. And guys, one of the smartest parts about this game plan I just laid out is it aligns making money with purpose. We always say that we like to come to a place and leave it better off than we found it. So, showed up on the island of Puerto Rico, there's a housing crisis. If we can do our small part and fix up a few houses, hand the keys off to people who become homeowners, teach people how to become real estate investors, and maybe give people a nice place to live while they're still renters. Voila, we leave the place better off than we found it. And oh, by the way, we create some generational wealth along the way. And if you decide to renovate distressed properties and you create real housing and then rent to people who are going to live and work on the island, the tax code, it's really on your side. Because the real opportunity on Puerto Rico, it's not about buying houses. It's about buying distressed houses and putting them back together so that they can become a home again. And if you want real examples every week, week in and week out, join our free community. Just comment yes in this video. I'll send you the link, or it's in the description. We put it everywhere, guys. We'd love to have you come be a part of the community. We're building something together where we're doing a lot of real estate investing, and we're giving people the chance to break out of a broken system by becoming real estate investors and homeowners. Oh my, what a great deal that is.